Namaste, angels. This is going to be the full moon in Libra reading. It should go from today, actually. Today, the full moon occurred, the 28th, March 28th, here, Eastern Standard Time, where I am in New York in the United States. And it goes through April 10th, because April 11th is the new moon in Aries. We're going to get started right away, beginning with the Knight of Cups. He is romantic, flirtatious, introspective, and enchanting. A deeply emotional and probably romantic experience will sweep you off your feet. Things can move very quickly during such whirlwind encounters, so stay balanced and make decisions with both your heart and your intellect. And I think that's a perfect card to be starting with. I'm going to grab some other decks because I'm actually using a deck that I forgot about. That's pretty awesome, particularly for this time. So I'm going to shuffle them all at the same time. So yeah, I was saying about the Knight of Cups. This is a card, of course, of love, emotion. It could definitely represent a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces. And thinking about Scorpio and the energy of death. If you've seen the love reading, if you've seen the general reading, I talk a lot about the evil eye, Judases, things coming to an end, or needing to decide to let something go or to hold on to it, whether or not to fight for it. And there's been a lot of wands, a lot of fire. We see the next card here is the Ace of Wands, actually. A wonderful new experience, new opportunity rather, presents itself. It may have come as a surprise, but you'll still want to leap into action and to passionately pursue every possibility. I actually saw unexpected sex in the love reading. So that could be an opportunity that comes as a surprise and maybe tied to this, love, emotion, the cups, but also definitely seeing a rise in the feminine, a lot of feminine energy. This full moon is in Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus in addition to Taurus and Gemini. She's like directly the rulers now of Taurus and Libra, but she's the ancient or esoteric ruler of the sign of Gemini as well. And so there's a lot of her energy around in particular, in addition to just feminine energy, but the moon is also like a feminine body planet. So that's another thing. And I just feel like with all the wands, with all the fire, Mercury will be in Aries at this time. Venus has already entered Aries. The sun is in Aries. The moon in Libra, but ruled by Venus, which is in Aries. And Chiron also is in Aries. So I just see her and all this fire. Also, it's called the worm moon. And I got a few thoughts about the worm moon. So worms, some of you may know that a million years ago, when I first graduated from high school and went to college, I majored in biology. So I still think in that way sometimes. And the first thing that came to my mind was that a worm is an invertebrate, has no backbone. And so we could be thinking of that in terms of the Judases, right? Somebody that's spineless. They would do anything. Spineless, right? Or we ourselves could be the worm in terms of like being afraid, holding on to fear. You have no backbone. You don't stand up for yourself. Also, I thought about when I was younger and it would rain, I would actually, dig up worms and play with worms. And the earthworms, if you cut them in half, they become two worms. That gave me sort of like a, twin flame vibe. One body or two beings that make up one body, yes. So that was another thing. What else was I thinking about? Oh, the spiritual meaning of worms is actually death and rebirth, which is sort of described or illustrated by potentially this Knight of Cups, which could very well be a Scorpio, which represents the sign of death in the tarot, and rebirth or newness with the Ace of Wands. So I'm going to mix these up. Let me move the other cards. I just wanted you to see that I was going to use other cards and not just these. But let me mix these up first because there's so many of them. I'm actually going to just use these quickly and then put them away and then really do the bulk of the reading with the others. So the others are some really awesome cards by Tony Carmine Salerno that I forgot about, but are so perfect for right now. Like, I think there's even a card called Resurrection. Like, there's one called The Prophet. Ascension. It's like all of these things that we may really be dealing with right now, whether spiritually or, in the 3D, that the card, the deck rather, has a card for. So, oh, look at that. Somehow I ended up right back at the Knight of Cups with the Ace of Spring now upright and the Queen of Cups behind them too. So the other things that I was feeling, and this is reminding me, these cards here are reminding me. There's another Knight of Cups here, by the way. The upright card, the next reverse card, upside down card, is another Knight of Cups. And in between there, we had the High Priestess, the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Cups. What was I saying? Oh, the energy of death was reminding me of like what's been coming up in my cards, what I talked about prior to pulling my cards, beginning with the general reading. I said I had this dream. I've had a couple things go on that was making me feel some kind of way about Judases, about people giving you the evil eye, about people trying to, send negative or bad energy your way, about, curses and hexes and black magic roots and all that kind of stuff. And then it actually, it came out in the cards also. And that energy of needing to maybe cut somebody off as a result, someone or something, and death and letting go, repeating in all the readings that I've done too. And now I think that this is like with this moon, the worm moon, these people, these spineless people, these snakes, these people with no backbones, by whom we may be confronted, like they're willing to do something behind your back and to be sneaky and try to mess you up, or to smile on your face and then, turn around and stick a dagger in you, but they're not willing to like just come right out and be honest and like face you or the music head on. They're not that big and bad. They got to do stuff in a sneaky way. They got to slink around like a worm. So with regard to relationships, I think that this will be a time of again, the death and rebirth or birth of new relationships, but also death or letting go of aspects of relationships or our idea of them, or like the way we typically want to have the kind of relationship we want to have. We may be coming to terms with the fact that doesn't make sense, or that's not a good move for us. That's not a good fit for us. Also patterns, relationship patterns, death to those. It's a releasing of all these things. And I think it's going to be largely on the part of the feminine, whereas she may not have had the backbone to do it before. A lot of us along the way, we took up with people who weren't our true counterpart, weren't our true intended mate, but because we wanted to say, oh, I'm in union, I kept telling people that watch my channel that wasn't the true union. But people, they wanted to do it and sort of rub these things in other people's faces, I guess, being being a worm. and I don't want to make it seem like nobody's relationship survived or was meant to survive or will survive, because there are some that even I agree, were the correct mate, but a lot of them were not, and we took them for the wrong reasons, and we started dealing with these people for the wrong reasons also. So we're gonna have the wrong outcome, and maybe we didn't have the balls to face that before, or it's like once you put your energy into something, you figure out, well, I might as well stay here, right? You get used to it. It's the familiar, it's the easy way out. And I think finally there will be a backbone, so the opposite of a worm, really, to release these things. I'm going to pull from here first, just one card for each sign of the zodiac, and then I'm going to do real spreads with the other cards. So I'm going to start with Aries, because you're the first sign of the zodiac, and your card for this period of the Libra full moon. So again, from today, the 28th of March, through the 10th of April, which is the day before the new moon in Aries, your card is the Nine of Cups. Now's the time when your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen. Just give gratitude to God for all that you have and all that's still to come. Taurus comes after Aries, right? Four of Cups. Your responsibilities may distract you from noticing all the gifts that God is presenting to you. Be open to investigating opportunities that come your way. Gemini, the Queen of Wands. Talented, brilliant, independent, and charming. Don't underestimate your ability to manifest your dreams. You may have several priorities vying for your attention at once, but you can do it. And this may also have something to do if this is not just about us embodying this energy. Someone close to us could be represented by this card, maybe an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius in our life, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Cancer. The Five of Pentacles. Focusing upon the negative or worrying about money or your career can block your progress. Because your trust and faith are at a low point right now, it's not the best time to start your own business or to become self-employed. And this card, as it relates to love, is still about fear of lack for me. And it can be tied to things like, fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of commitment, sometimes fear of winning, of a positive outcome, fear of the unknown. All of these things could be tied to that. And so we put negative thoughts into our head, and then we have the potential to manifest negativity into our own life. So watch out for this. That was Cancer. Leo. This is your energy too. Very nice. The Knight of Wands. Passionate, charismatic, confident, and restless. An opportunity arises that needs your attention right away. Moving quickly is important, yet there's nothing that you can't handle if you follow your own inner guidance. And it may very well have to do with work, this opportunity that comes up for you, with employment or your own business or something. Virgo. Very nice. The Six of Cups. The love and care of children could become an important part of your life, or people from your childhood may return to it. Old memories can be healed, or possibly old childhood dreams are ready to be revived. So this could be something maybe that you're finally putting to bed from your childhood, good, bad, or indifferent. You're finally closing the chapter. Could be something having to do with your siblings and or your children or your parents, and can even be about an ex returning or something. Libra. Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot. You're the only one that's gotten the Major Arcana card so far, and this moon is in your energy. So, you should be the one that's really winning. And, this is a card of success and victory, movement, travel, both metaphoric and literal. You can successfully balance various or opposing energies at once through determination and focus. You've earned the rewards and recognition that you are receiving. Scorpio. Two of Pentacles. You may be under stress because of multiple jobs or too many responsibilities for one person to manage. It's important to balance your work and your personal life and to bring a spirit of fun to all you do. Sagittarius. This is your card. This is your energy. So you are the second to receive a major arcana card. The major arcana card 19, the sun, directly represents the sign of Sagittarius in the tarot. Happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success if you have confidence in yourself. A lot of the time with a full moon, I would suggest if you have an opportunity, if you have a choice, not to get like surgery and those types of things. But this is even a positive card as it relates to like health matters. It's just a positive card, period. It's about you guys having a happy outcome with something. Capricorn. Very nice. All these cards are so positive. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family, be it relatives or a chosen family of close friends. Congratulations may be in order on a happy, fulfilling marriage, as well as raising happy and balanced children. Scorpio, I didn't tell you guys, and I'm being like guided to tell you now. With the Two of Pentacles showing up, it can be a card that's like about balance or, these sorts of things, because it's a two. So maybe, having too much of something in your life or too little of something, but it often connects directly to relationships. And as I just mentioned, I felt that this moon was largely about relationships, letting them go, letting aspects of them go, and letting, relationship patterns that don't serve us go, all those things. And so this can be coming up because of that. Like if you're putting a lot of work and effort and school and those kind of things, it's usually work, like actual labor, before your relationships, or in an unhealthy balance, like you just work, and you're missing out on your relationships, whether that's your friendships or your romantic relationships, like they're suffering. That may be a pattern that you want to change. Right, that was Capricorn, right? Aquarius. The Ten of Wands. Too much work, accept help from others. Life is out of balance, and that can cause stress-related health concerns. Because I am a Gemini, Leo, Aquarius, I have taken note that those three cards all were the suit of wands, and I think those were the only ones other than Sagittarius that were the wands. Yep, the Queen of Wands was Gemini, the Knight of Wands was Leo, and now the Ten of Wands is Aquarius. So at least I know I got the right cards. I was meant to have the theme, the suit of fire, which is a big part of the rise for me. Like, fire rises, and I just see like the feminine rising. I see Venus. I see definitely like movement forward, higher level spirituality, divine feminine rise, and like making real changes. That was Aquarius. Pisces, very nice. Two of Wands. Your vision, creativity, and dedication to your cause have brought you great success. In fact, it may be in your best interest to get a partner to assist you in your endeavors. And in love, this is a wonderful card. It is the twin flame or divine union or soulmate card of the tarot. It's also a positive card in other areas, and represents the sign of Aries too. So there could be something between a Pisces and an Aries, maybe, or maybe you're on a border, right, a cusp. And Pisces is actually the last sign. I was going to pull the next card. It's in reverse, so I probably wasn't meant to pull it anyway. And now these decks I can shuffle traditionally. So this is the, most of you guys probably know about this one. This is the Tony Carmine Solano Universal Love Oracle, right? And I just pulled this one out only because it has some of the same images as this one, even though there's different meanings. That he used the same picture but gave it a different meaning. And in some cases there may be the same card, period. I don't really recall. There's that fear we were talking about. And look, doesn't that look like a divine feminine rising in fire? It's called emergence, but you got all this yellow, orange, red, and you see her like looking toward the rays, looking toward the sun. She's fully in her power. She's nude, so she's also in full surrender and ready to listen to the guidance that she's been given to come up. And then this looks like wings, right? You can see like the feathers, these little ruffles of the feathers here. So I really think that this is about the rise of the feminine. And then we have love is the next card, although in reverse. So this could be, again, releasing a love or a type of love that we thought we wanted, that we realize we don't. Or, negative patterns in love and relationships that don't serve us. This other deck is also by Tony Carmine Salerno, but this is the Mary Magdalene deck. And I got these cards and forgot about them. And they're so awesome. So we're beginning with this card, Acceptance. And it's more nude feminine. So more surrender. It's called Acceptance. So she's accepting. She's surrendering to what is. Right? She's accepting what is. It may be something having to do with her family, whether that is, birth or blood related or chosen family. I guess I should be putting them up like this. Illumination, I would imagine, is like coming into some sort of clarity, something, there's light shed on something, so you come into a new understanding, a higher understanding. And the next card is in reverse, but it was called Serendipity. And this one also looks like rising feminine and misfire, like Venus in Aries while she is ruling Libra, where the full moon is. It looks very much like that. But they got Mother Mary. Then this card, this is one of the ones that shares images from the other deck. In the other deck, there's a card that looks like this. I think it's the Tantric Union card. And here it's just called the Lovers. Here's the Prophet that I was talking about. Next one's called Gratitude, Guardian Angel, the Universal Christ. It's called the Universal Heart. Same image in the other deck. So I think we're going to use the two of these. I open right to another love. So that's kind of cool. Sophia, which is another representation of the divine feminine, or mother, like that mother energy. Love again. Co-creation. Love and little children. Like that song, Jesus Loves Little Children, All the Children of the World. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Could be a message in that. This is Palm Sunday today. So those who see Jesus as God, Messiah, or even prophet, Ascended Master, may receive a message through that. And then we end up with decision. And this looks like a full moon. And as I said, a lot of people having to make a decision of what to let go, as it relates particularly to relationships. And the next card is called Crucifixion. How cool is this? The real you. This could be about you being persecuted, you being crucified for being the real you. That could be another reason why you need to let go of someone or something. If you can't be in truth around a person or in a particular place, then that's reason to cut that off. If somebody would crucify you for being who you are. And the next card is Gaia in reverse. Okay, so with these, divine being or couple. You can view the reading however you'd like, as an individual or as part of a couple. Recent past, near future, masculine's higher self, blocks to individual or shared progress. The feminine can do to help herself, what the masculine can. What the universe would have both archetypes do and even wants to help us with. Universe wants to help us to accomplish whatever this is and the outcome. They're so like new and like waxy feeling that I can't even move them. I have to go through this draw more often. But I like remembered them. I'm like, oh, I have cards that are like Eastery. All right. Same thing with these. Divine being or couple during this period of the moon. Mythic, reality, and birth. So this card for me is definitely a death and rebirth or new birth kind of card. And it can be like you're moving into this higher state, this higher being. That's what you're birthing into. This new reality that in the past you'd only read about, dreamed about. It's actually happening now. Could involve rainbow spirits. Or this rainbow could also be here because of the rays, the different colors of the rays. They make up a rainbow as well. And in terms of being in truth, and not allowing yourself to be persecuted. For some, this could be more literal in terms of the rainbow and LGBTQ, maybe deciding to come out and be yourself over this period. Recent past. Now, recent past may not have happened yet. We have the Judgment. And we have the Mystic. And both of these are pretty straightforward, I believe. This is like a high priestess kind of energy for me. And this is a very judgment energy for me. So this is about, like I said, it may not have happened yet because it's recent past, but this reading covers the next 2 weeks. So it could be something that happens next week. And then it would still be in the past when you come to the point of the reading being over. Or the period being over. Judgment is a very positive card. It is about, you receiving some sort of reward, abundance for something that you've done. The Mystic, again, for me, is very high priestess. It's going to be following the guidance will pay off. There will be like some sort of reward that comes to you by listening very closely to your intuition, gut feelings, any signs, synchronicities, messages, dreams, all of that. Near future. The Beloved. We got more stars. There was a star on this woman's forehead too, like right above her third eye. And then we have another female with the same thing. This could be tied to the energy of Aquarius specifically, at least for some. And maybe dealing personally with an Aquarian. Also, this Beloved is tied to spiritual growth. It could be talking about like a twin flame partnership, right? Your beloved coming together, even energetically, in a positive way, brings about spiritual growth for both parties. If that's not it, you may be your own beloved. And acknowledging, like self-love could be what results for you in the spiritual growth. Masculine's higher self. Acceptance and Guardian. So with the masculine coming into a place of surrender and feeling comfortable enough to do it now, to be vulnerable, because knowing that he's safe and protected as well. Blocks, however, to individual, so one person or your relationship, right? Individual or shared progress. Liberation and retreat. Our failure to like get away, to try to escape, to break away from things. It's what's been holding us back. We have more of this star. The sign of Aquarius is the sign of freedom. It is the sign of liberation. It is the sign of humanitarianism. So like breaking away to serve a higher purpose. That's what we failed to do so far. So that's what's been holding us back and blocking us. What can we do about that? What can the feminine do to help herself in that regard? The Resurrection and Trilogy of Light. These cards are not the same, but they're very similar to me. The Trilogy of Light is very transfiguration-ish and Trinity-ish for me. And then we have the Resurrection here. So this is rising again. What can the feminine do to help herself? Rise. Just as I've been talking about. I said that I felt like this was going to be about the feminine rise. Boom. What can the masculine do to help himself? It's allowing for your heart and soul to lead you. Rather than your head, or certainly not your ego, and certainly not fear. Right? Allowing yourself to be enchanted, just taking over, to go with the flow. Go with it. You've been afraid to retreat, like to break away or to be liberated. And so now if you just allow like your heart and soul to guide you there and allow for the magic of enchantment, then it'll lead you to that place of liberation. What the universe wants to help us with. Little children and answered prayer. I think I'm going to have to read this card. Answered prayer is pretty straightforward. And again, we have the star. A lot of these stars popping up. There's a star here, star here, star here. A lot of Aquarian energy. But this is like a 9 of Cups kind of card, or star card for me. With this answered prayer, it is, wishes coming true, dreams coming true, prayers being answered, goals being reached. But I want to read what they have to say about little children and the outcome. Look at the outcome. How perfect is that? Co-creation with the soulmate. And a lot of the same colors again. And the rainbow's also back. I think that was a perfect spread, but I want to read Little Children. I love when I open right to it. The book is tiny, so that helps. Little children. When given paints and a brush, a young child will automatically express and portray images of the people and things that he or she loves, and then enthusiastically explain who and what everything in the picture represents. Children have no preconceived ideas about how they should express themselves. They just do it naturally and spontaneously in ways that they can. You could benefit by adopting a similar attitude at this time. You could benefit by adopting... I was reading the same line again. Let go of all of your hang-ups. So they're talking about letting go, just as I mentioned. And express yourself freely without judgment. It's like everything I said. Express all you have stored in your heart. You can express yourself in a myriad of ways. Verbal expression, journal writing, painting, drawing, music, and dance are but a few of the ways in which you can effectively express your feelings and emotions. This will help you to clear the emotional blockages that have formed over the past few months. You will regain a newfound sense of enthusiasm for life, and this will filter through to your work and relationships. That song also kind of talks about rainbow. It doesn't talk about rainbow, but it says, right, Jesus loves little children, all the children of the world, red and yellow, black and white. They are precious in his sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world, if I remember correctly, from like, you know, all those camps and stuff. And I see the red and yellow. I see the black. I don't see the white in this picture. But I think that could be a message. Also, rainbow comes up in the Bible when they were asking like to not be flooded again. And I think they said it has something to do with patience. Although that's not really making sense in my head right now. But like the biblical meaning, patience, I think, was the rainbow. Also, scientific meaning, rainbows are developed by usually storms through reflection and or refraction of light. So I guess again you could get into like mirror opposites and stuff, and twins. Just thinking, just thinking like out loud as I give out the advice cards. Oops, wrong deck. Well, I'll leave it there. Okay. So the advice cards for the masculine is the Page of Swords first. Logical, truthful, curious, and undiplomatic. This is a definitely time of truth. Again, saying what you mean, meaning what you say, expressing yourself. All of that. Mercury is also in Aries, not just Venus, but this could also be representative of Venus, both of which rule Gemini, as I mentioned. Venus also rules Libra in terms of air signs, and then Aquarius is the third air sign. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. For the feminine, we have the World, which is a fire energy for me too. Congratulations on successfully accomplishing what you've set out to do. You've made it through the challenges and incorporated the life lessons that were offered you. The 3 is a card, the number of creativity. So it goes along with our co-creation card. And some sort of cycle coming to an end. It could be a literal pregnancy in terms of giving birth over this period too. But something else is coming to an end, so it'll be death to that, and then it'll be a new beginning. And it's a positive thing. It's the universe like easing you out of one situation and putting you into another one. Similar to the Tower, but not as abruptly. This one requires patience. So maybe that is the meaning of the rainbow. From the angel deck to the masculine, we have a Page of Water. Very nice. Intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase, and also we have heightened psychic abilities, masculine. You're guided to use them, especially with these cards that you got, how you can help yourself. Remember, it was paying attention to the guidance, your heart, your soul, and going to where it led you without fear or anything. The Page of Cups is potentially an actual person, a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. There could also be link-ups between air signs and water signs. We have pages from both of those elements showing up here for the masculine. For the feminine, she got 2 angel tarot cards. The first is the 8 of Cups, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful in spiritual and emotional growth. 8 of Cups is about walking away from something or walking towards something because you're looking for something higher. right? Something deeper, that has a deeper meaning, that's not as superficial of what you had before. So it's kind of like those relationships that I talked about, that people just entered relationships sort of for the sake of having them, a lot of the time over the past couple years, and you're just being moved to get out of those at this point. And the feminine's other card is the King of Wands. He is motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. This is also the card that represents the divine masculine in the tarot. So it could be walking away from someone who is not the divine masculine, or walking toward the divine masculine, maybe why you also got the Eight of Cups, or we also got the Eight of Cups. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. King of Wands is potentially an Aries, like the moon, Leo or Sagittarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And also would go nicely with our world. Could be the energy from where our world is coming from. Because like I said, for me, the world feels like fire. And it is usually, it represents a karmic energy for me. All of the major arcana cards do. And so it tends to be tied for me to like Mars or Jupiter and some sort of action that they're taking. From the Universal Love Oracle to the masculine. Dreams. So this is another indication of you receiving messages, intuition. It could be daydreams, could be while you're sleeping. It could be just visions, not an actual dream. If you do awaken from sleep and have a dream on your mind, I recommend writing it down so that you can revisit like the notes later and not, like forget what the dream was about or important information from it. Feminine, our card from the Universal Love Oracle is Eternal Flame. We got all these love cards showing up for us. So again, I think that our message from the Angel Tarot is guidance to move toward that love. And even if you're single and you're like, well, I don't know, move toward who? Move toward what? I don't have them. It's about energetically doing it. It's about preparing yourself for someone with whom you'll be equally yoked. So have you loved yourself enough? Have you cared for yourself enough? Have you prepared yourself? Have you prepared your home and or whatever it is, like made a space in your life? Are you working too much? Is there like time on the side for you to even date or whatever? Those are the things that you would want to look at if you are single. And for the masculine, from the Mary Magdalene deck, it's another love card. All right, his advice is love. Isn't that awesome? And last but not least, feminine, our card is transformation. So it's death. This is a big change. This is a transition through which we are guided to go. Hope you guys have enjoyed the reading. If you would like to stick around, I'm going to quickly, for those who are interested, I think, go over what else is going on this week. Should only take a minute. Just picking up my laptop. If you heard that thud, that was me putting my laptop on my lap. So today, like I said, is when the full moon occurred at 2:48 p.m. this afternoon, 8 degrees Libra. The next event is April 3rd at 11:41 p.m. Mercury enters Aries, 0 degrees. April 4th at 6:02 a.m. Easter Sunday, we'll experience the last quarter moon, 14 degrees Capricorn. April 6th at 5:36 p.m. Jupiter will be semi-square Chiron. April 9th, 10:57 p.m. So maybe that's when that world stuff will occur. When Jupiter is square Chiron, that's a lot of karmic fire energy. April 9th, 10:57 p.m. Saturn will be trine the true node, which is Gemini. Saturn is Capricorn's ruler. And the next event is April 11th at 6:10 p.m. Pluto will be sesquiquadrate the true node. So that is water, right? Scorpio's ruler in Gemini. Maybe what this page, these two pages are about. And then also on April 11th at 10:31 p.m., the new moon in Aries occurs, 22 degrees Aries. So that's the 13 of 4, 11, 11 equals 22. Master number 22. Again, I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you're not yet a subscriber, please consider becoming one by hitting both the subscribe button and the bell button so that hopefully you receive your notifications. Please also like, share, subscribe, comment. I try to respond to every comment that is left, whether it is just a statement or it is a question. If it's a question, I try to answer you as best I can. Thanks again. Namaste.